In this video, I'm gonna go over the 2 reasons your gym results suck. Not only am I gonna go over those 2 reasons, define those reasons, I'm also gonna help you clarify and get a better understanding so you can start getting results in the gym. Now look, the reason you're not getting results in the gym, it's not because you're not putting in the work. It's not because you don't want the results. You're doing all of those things, but every time you get to the point when you're about to see results, you quit. You stop going to the gym, you backslide, you start gaining the weight back, you fall off, you start making excuses, and there's a clear reason why, and we're gonna dive right into it. So let's jump into it. So there's 3 things you need if you're gonna get results. There's 3 things that you really have to know. You have to know the what, the why, and the how. Those are the 3 things that you have to know: the what, the why, and the how. And what most people get caught thinking about or worrying about is the how. How am I going to lose the weight? How am I going to have bigger arms? And you get stuck in this whirlwind of watching YouTube videos and going online and tutorials and blogs, and you're looking at all of these different things, looking for solutions, and the how is the least important part. It's the least important part, and you'll understand that more by the time we get done with this. So what we're going to focus on is purpose and meaning. Purpose and meaning are the 2 things that you're missing, and I want to describe these so you really understand. So what actually is purpose? Like what is that? So the purpose is what you're here to do, right? That's exactly what your purpose is. And I know for me, I used to get confused all the time. I'm like, what is my purpose? It's not that deep. If I said, what's the purpose of you going to the beach? You could easily answer that. Oh, I want to, go in the water. I want to enjoy the sun. I just love being on the beach and being in the sand. Like, it's very easy to define your purpose when it comes to things like that. And that's exactly what you're missing when it comes down to getting physical results in the gym, changing your body. So when we talk about purpose points outward, right? It's action oriented and mission driven. It's something you can put your finger on. The function of it, it actually gives you direction. It provides clarity. And a lot of times I'll talk to people, and a huge problem is their purpose is so vague. Like if you say, well, I want to lose weight, you're done. Put a fork in you. You're toast. That is like, what are you, in 3rd grade? Like, if you really want to get results, if this is something that you really want to do, you have to have clarity in your purpose. It's not enough to say, I want to lose weight. It's not enough to say, I want to gain muscle. Like, that's not clear. A clear purpose would sound something like this: I want to lose 45 pounds, get rid of my man boobs, drop my waist from a 46 to a 32. I want to have abs, I want thunder thighs, and I want arms when people walk by, they can't help but to look and stare. That is a very clear direction and where you need to go. It's very easy to find the exact information that you're going to need because you're so clear. In most people, you're not getting results because you really don't know what you want. And if your brain doesn't understand and it can't comprehend what you actually want, you're not going to get it. It would be no different than if you went on a road trip and you had no idea where you wanted to go. But if you knew you wanted to go to Disneyland, it would be very easy to find Disneyland. As a matter of fact, there's Disneyland and Disney World. If you know you want to go to Disneyland, you're not going to accidentally end up at Disney World because you're so clear. So the first step is, like, get clarity on your purpose. Well, what do you actually want? Now, the second part of this is the meaning. It's the why. Well, what does meaning actually mean? It's why your purpose actually matters. Now, meaning points inward, unlike purpose that points outward, right? It's interpretive and it's value driven, meaning 2 people could want the exact same thing, but their reasons for wanting it could be completely different based on their morals, based on their values is going to change that. Even their age. For instance, a 20-year-old wants to have abs for a completely different reason than why a 40-year-old might want abs. A 40-year-old might want abs because they know if they have a stronger core, their back is going to stop hurting, right? A 20-year-old wants abs so they can blow out some girl's back. Like it's two totally different things, but what's the function of the why? The why is what makes the what matter, right? So if you know what you want, if you don't have a strong backing or a strong reason for wanting that thing, when things get hard, and it's gonna get hard, like there's gonna be days when you wake up, you're not gonna wanna get out of your warm and cozy bed right in front of like you're sleeping right next to your wife, the woman you chose to spend the rest of your life with, and you're gonna get out of that warm bed and go to a gym and punish yourself. Like if you don't have a strong reason why, you're not gonna be able to do that. There's gonna be days when you're like, snooze. There's gonna be days when you're like, I'm just gonna stay here. And you're just gonna go back to sleep. Or you're gonna get off work and you know you need to go to the gym. But you're gonna start giving yourself excuses like, oh, well, the gym's gonna be packed. Everybody goes at this time. This isn't really a good time. Like I'm not gonna be able to use the equipment. But if you have a strong reason why, like what's a strong reason why you would want to drop the weight? What's a strong reason why you would want to have a smaller waist? Well, a strong reason why is to be a good representation for your children. A strong reason why would to further develop and rebooster the chemistry with your wife, to boost your sex life. Like these are all strong reasons why, like when things get tough, you're going to be able to push through it. Like meaning gives validity to your purpose. It's like the fuel that's going to drive the car. Like without the fuel, you're going to get stuck. Without the fuel, you're not going to want to move forward. But if you have a strong reason why, you're going to be able to easily move forward. And look, this is the stuff that most people skip. They go around, they're on the internet, they're looking at different YouTubes, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok. What's the 6 best ways to get abs or the 5 easiest foods to drop weight? That's all garbage. Because if you don't know what you want, and there's no clarity around that, and you don't know why you want it, I can give you a blueprint. You can get the blueprint, and you're still not going to follow it. You're still not going to do it. And we see this happen over and over and over. Look, there's no shortage of gyms. There's no shortage of figuring out how to count macros or the information is everywhere. It's not information that people have a problem with, it's implementation. And I'm telling you, it's these 2 steps that people want to skip over. Yeah, I get it. And you might be watching this video right now and you're like, yeah, I know that, but how do I do that? And again, that's where people mess up. And when it comes to finding out your purpose and finding out what you actually want, this involves you actually sitting down with yourself and thinking clearly about what you actually want. Not based on outside circumstances, not based on what you think your friends want to see you look like, not based on how you want to show up on Instagram or Facebook. No, you deep down, what do you actually want? Take out all the filters, take out everything you've seen on Instagram and social media, take out all of that. And what do you actually want? And then figure out why that's even important. Because if you don't have a strong reason why, you're not going to do it, right? And my ultimate goal with all my clients is to have them live a life of purpose. And there's 6 different aspects of living a fulfilled life with purpose, right? Today we're gonna really hone in on one, which is body and health, but there's 5 other ones: faith and spirituality, family, work and mission, brotherhood and community, and legacy and impact, right? So even though on this video I'm going to focus on body and health, I'm going to briefly go over the other ones, because what's the point in having perfect health, perfect body, an amazing physique, but all these other ones are off. All these other ones are operating at 40% and 50%. It does you no good. So family, the greatest legacy is not the business you build or the wealth you leave, it's a family you lead. A man who conquers the world but fails his marriage or abandons his children is bankrupt where it counts. Family is where a man proves his strength daily, not with words, but with his presence, protection, and love. Purpose begins at home. Family is such an important one to lock in. The next one, work and mission. Men are designed to build, produce, and contribute. I cannot say this enough. We live in a society where, like, I see men that they're doing self-care days and they're like, oh, I need to find happiness. No, that's not what you need. You need to go out and build something. You need to go produce something. You need to go contribute. That's what's going to leave you fulfilled. That's what's going to really bring you joy. Like, a man without a mission feels restless and weak. This is why so many people walk around and they're depressed. But a man who channels his gifts into meaningful work, you're going to feel alive. It's kind of like when you go to the gym and you don't want to go there. You don't want to be in the gym and you're dreading it and you're giving yourself all these excuses and you start your workout. You don't want to do it, but it's like you start kind of getting into it a little bit. Endorphins start flowing. Like the music is hitting, your playlist is on point, and you start to literally come alive. You start to feel like, like what is that? And as soon as you're done with the workout, you feel like a new person. You feel revived. You feel like you just literally came back to life. Why is that? Why is that? It's because, again, you're building yourself up. You're producing a better version of yourself that is able to contribute. That's a physical manifestation of this right here. Men are designed to build, produce, and contribute. When your work aligns with your purpose, it becomes more than a job. It becomes your contribution to the world, brotherhood, and community. Isolation absolutely destroys men, right? A man becomes weak, distracted, and vulnerable. I'm going to say that again because this is so important, because a lot of times as men, after we graduate, whether that's high school or college, we no longer have sports that bring that brotherhood. We no longer have the fraternities. We no longer have these social aspects that we had when we were in school. So men tend to isolate themselves, and typically they're around women. And again, I love women to death, but men need men, right? Surrounded by strong brothers, you're going to be sharpened. Iron sharpens iron. You're going to be held accountable and lifted up when you stumble. A brotherhood gives men the strength to endure battles that they can't fight alone. It gives you the humility to admit when you need help. Purpose grows stronger when shared with other warriors, not boys. Warriors, other men, other like-minded men. If you're not around like-minded people, again, that's a topic for another video. So legacy and impact. A man's life cannot end with himself. Legacy is about living for what outlives you. Faith passed down, lessons taught, lives changed. Like, without a legacy, even success is going to feel hollow. With a legacy, even suffering, it takes on a whole different meaning. If there's a reason for you to suffer, if there's a reason for you to go through the struggle, a strong reason why, you're going to go through it. And you're going to go through it with a smile on your face. You're going to go through it with a sense of purpose, right? Because you know your sacrifices, it builds something that will stand after you're gone. A man without a legacy in mind stops drifting and starts designing his life with intention. Faith and spirituality. Every man needs an anchor bigger than himself. Without God, or at least a higher standard, life collapses and you just end up trying to chase money, status, or pleasure, all of which is going to leave you feeling empty. This is why we see famous people and actors and comedians committing suicide. From the outside, it looks like they have everything, but they really have nothing. Right? So faith gives a man clarity of values, it gives you a moral compass, and it gives you conviction that your life is it has eternal significance. is the foundation. It keeps purpose steady when circumstances shake. And again, body and health, which is why you're here and what this main focus of this video, right? A weak body limits every other area of life. This is why I will die on a hill saying it is so important that you get your stuff together and take care of your body. I'm not saying it from a standpoint of, oh, you just need to look good. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's a byproduct of you taking care of your product, or excuse me, taking care of yourself, going to the gym, eating healthy, get the proper amount of rest, get the proper amount of sleep. Yes, you're gonna look absolutely amazing. But along the way, on the journey, you're going to grow into an absolute savage. Why? Because you're going to develop skill sets, disciplines, and habits that carry over into every aspect of your life. Training your body sharpens your mind, it raises your energy, and it builds your confidence to lead. And as a man, we are supposed to lead, right? The body is a man's tool. If it breaks down, his mission suffers. Master your body and prove you can master yourself. This is like the ground foundation of everything. So look, I'm telling you, if you're struggling now, you're not getting results, you go to the point where you start seeing a little bit of results and then you quit. You stop going to the gym. You start falling off. You start making excuses, right? And you're repeating this cycle over and over and over and over. You quit this gym. You're gone for like 3 months or 6 months and you decide, okay, I'm gonna go back to the gym. You're too embarrassed to go to that gym, so you go to another gym. Like you've literally had 5 gym memberships in the last 4 years. What are you doing, bro? A gym is a gym. And here's why I'm talking like this. And here's why I'm saying this. That was me. I'm just talking to the old version of me. I'm no different. I'm no better than you. This isn't me yelling at you. This isn't me saying I'm better than you. This is just me showing you how I was able to completely change my physique, which ended up completely changing my life. You're so much closer than you actually think. You're not that far away. You're not that far away. You just need clarity on what you want. You just need clarity on why you want it. And the how, quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, it's none of your business. Stop worrying about that. That's what's getting you hung up. You're so worried about the how. That's what's giving you paralysis of analysis. That's why you keep saying you're going to do something and never do it. That's why you keep breaking your own promises, because there's always new information that can be acquired. You have enough information. It's not that. We live in a society where it's oversaturated with information. It's not the problem. It's the implementation. And it's simple things. But again, don't forget, what's simple to do is also simple not to do. Right? So if a man knows the what, which is your purpose, what you're here to do, in the why, which is your meaning, why it matters, then he will always figure out the how. Always. Hands down, every single time. What is the how? It's the steps, strategy, discipline to make it all happen. Men get stuck not because they don't know how, but because they don't know what or they don't know why. The how is just, it's tactical. Tactics are everywhere. We've talked about this. Books, podcasts, coaches, YouTube, tutorials. Heck, now you even got AI. But without clarity of purpose, the what, like what you actually want, the more detail you can put on this, the more juicier you can make it, the more clearer you're going to be able to actually see it in your mind. The easier it is for your brain to go out and find the answer. And the conviction of the meaning, which is your why you're actually, why does it even matter in the first place? Does it matter if you have a 32-inch waist? What does it matter if you have a bigger chest? Why do you want to have bigger arms? Why do you want to be able to squat 400 pounds or whatever it is that you want? You have to have a compelling reason why. It's an uphill battle. It is a journey that you're about to go on. And if you don't know why you're going on a journey, you're going to confide to what everybody else is doing. You're going to confide in looking like everybody else. And if that's what you want, cool, no problem. There's nothing wrong. Look, if you want man boobs, have man boobs. If you want a gut, have a gut. If you want to be 40 pounds overweight, if you want diabetes, high blood pressure, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. If that fits you, cool. But if you've made it this far in this video, that's not what you want. So figure out what you want, figure out why you want it, and I'm telling you, the how will come. Because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know why you want, I can tell you how, and you're not going to use it. It'll be wasted. So why do most men fail? I'm going to give you five reasons. They chase feelings instead of foundations, right? Most men chase happiness, comfort, and pleasure. Those are danger zones. And I get it. This is what society tells you. This is what social media tells you. Chase happiness, chase comfort, chase pleasure. There's no growth in any of those. It's not how you grow. You grow by getting uncomfortable. You grow by getting outside your comfort zone. That's the only way you can grow. Those are feelings. Feelings come and go like the wind. Second thing, they drift instead of design. Most people, they're like driftwood. They just, wherever the water takes them, that's where they go. That's how they go about their life. Don't be that dude. Men who lack purpose let life control the outcome. 3, they confuse success with significance. These are two different things. Many men pour themselves into work, money, or status thinking it will satisfy them, but success without meaning, it's just going to be empty. I can't tell you how many people that I've helped get to their results and they're completely unfulfilled when they get there. They think there's going to be this magic party when they get there. It's not the end result that you want. It's not that. You'll take it. I know you'll take it. I know that's what you think you want, but it's who you become along the journey. It's who you become on the path to greatness. It's who you become on the way to looking the way you want to look. 4 is lack of discipline to align action with purpose. Most people just don't take action. But again, I'll go back to it again. If you know what you want, if you know why you want it, you're going to take action, even if you have no idea what action to take. Although that's not the case, because you do know, you're just not doing it, or you're not doing it consistently. Number 5, you try to do it alone. Trying to do this on your alone, good luck. Look, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around. I guarantee you're not hanging out with people that look like how you want to look. Because if you did, you would look like them. Again, this isn't me trying to tell you like, da 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 da. No, it's not that. Like these are real life things that I had to figure out myself. I wish someone would have broke this down to me. I remember the first time someone told me, like, all you have to know is what you want and why you want it, and you'll figure it out. That didn't even make sense in my brain. I'm like, how can I get what I want if I don't know how to actually do it? And they simply like looked at me and said, you will figure it out. And sure enough, that's how it works. Look, most men waste their life searching for the perfect how. But if you lock in your what and your why, you'll always find the how. Hopefully you guys got some value from this video. This might be one you want to go back and watch again and just kind of process it again, especially if you're stuck, especially if you keep backsliding and you're going through this process over and over and over and over, especially if every week you're hoping and you're praying to get results. You don't have to hope and pray anymore. Just figure out what you want, why you want it, and you'll figure the rest out. Peace.